All right, so it's 5 p.m. and 5 minutes. I think we have enough quorum to start our meeting. So thank you everyone for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here today in our annual general meeting. My name is Ricardo Souza. I am the Fanshawe Student Union president. And today here with me, we have Frank. Frank Albert Siga. He is gonna be the chair of this meeting. And also we have Eva and Paul Mass. Paul Mass is the general manager of the Fanshawe Student Union, and he will be presenting as well for you today, some reports. And Eva will be helping us to have all the motions and all the minutes in place. Okay, so I'm gonna hand it over to you now, Frank.
Thank you, Ricardo. I call to order today's meeting Monday, April 6, 2022 at 5 p.m. through Zoom. So before moving to our second item, which is approval of the agenda, I would like to ask if there's any member here that has an item that wants to be added to the agenda.
All good, Frank.
Hearing none from no one, I'm going to request an approval of the agenda.
I would like to move it.
I'll second it.
Thank you. So moving on to our third item, before we move on, I would like to say, I will request everyone to participate actively in the chat because we also be monitoring the chat. So if you have any questions, if you have any concern, you could use the chat. So moving on to our third item, we have the approval of the minutes from the agenda of April 12, 2021. So I'd like to request an approval from any directors.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Thank you, everyone. Moving on to our fourth item, we have the FSU President's Report that's going to be presented by Ricardo Souza, who is our current FSU President. Ricardo.
Thank you very much, Frank. Just an additional note, everyone. We're gonna be using the chat when we ask you to approve. You're just gonna put a message here if you have any opposition. So if you stay quiet, we are assuming that you are in agreement with the motion we are moving through. Is that okay? All good? Okay, just to let it clear. All right, just give me a second. I'm gonna share here. Okay, so again, thank you everyone for joining us today. It's been like a year, many challenges and opportunities, but we are glad to have survived this awesome year. And today, my goal here is just to present you in a nutshell some of the activities and some of the milestones we had at the FSU during this year. Okay, so before starting, I just would like to recap. Probably some of you already had access to this content, but at the beginning of the year, as our main goal, we had defined some work pillars, and those work pillars were defined by, based on that data research and our experience in contact with the students, for sure, because we are every single day talking to students and we know what they are looking for, and also the pillars were connected to the FSU strategic directions and of course the Fanshawe goals as a whole. So based on that, we took the FSU strategic directions that maybe you already familiar with, that is communications, continuity, collaboration, and communication. And we decided to move forward and work with three main pillars for this year. So the main goal of those pillars was just like to address and to organize all the initiatives we were planning for this year. So because easily we can lose track of things if we don't have focus. So our main focus was in those three main pillars, which are diversity, mental health, and student leadership in development. And for each of these pillars, we had some outcomes expected. So increased student awareness in regards to diversity and multiculturalism within Fanshawe, increase awareness in regards mental health and resources available in our college, and also increase the students' involvement with the FSU leadership positions. Of course, we cannot achieve that by ourselves. So we had many collaborations and many partnerships with other areas in the college, including different departments, different people. And we are very proud of that and very proud of the great relationship we established with all those departments to have our pillars executed successfully. So other than that, we were connected to the FSU, to the SILEX and the 7 job skills for the future. So as students, this is part of the strategic planning for Fanshawe College, and our pillars were connected to those strategies as well, because it's important that we aim in the student experience as a whole. So we are all connected in those initiatives and making efforts in the same direction, which is important because that way we are stronger. So those are the pillars that probably you are familiar with. In mental health, you can see some of the initiatives we had. So we had Mental Health Month, video series, Bell Let's Talk, many different initiatives that we could put together. Same thing with diversity. We had Pride Month, Take Back Our Campus, Safe Night Out Act Support. So those initiatives were not limited to on-campus stuff. We were involving the community as well and some partners. And the same thing with the student leadership. We were providing ways and trying to work in manners that students could get more and more involved with the FSU and with our initiatives. So I'm proud to say after one year of hard work of the FSU team, we had 63 initiatives under those pillars, which I think it's a really great number and many opportunities for students to develop their leadership skills, to be more aware of mental health and diversity, and to be part of the FSU in many, many different ways. So here you can see some of the initiatives we had. But in case you don't have enough time to go through all of them, we're gonna make this presentation available on our website, and you can just go there and visit afterwards to check more detailed information. All right. So we're still under our pillars. I want to show some of the initiatives we had in regards to student support, which I think is really important to report to you guys. So this year we had a bursary provided by students. So we were able to benefit 6,222 students with this benefit, and more than $500,000 were distributed. So we had a partnership with the college to distribute this money. And we picked a specific slice of our demographics to have this one-time $100 credit in their accounts. So just by being a full-time student and an FSU member in those descriptions in that description that I'm showing here, probably you got your credit in your account. Also, we had the student emergency support for, if you are not aware, in London some months ago, we had a house fire, and living in this house, we had at least 8 students from Fanshawe. So we were able to support those students and provide them with all the support they needed to get back in their feet, providing money, gift cards for groceries. We were in partnership with residents, career service, international centers. So it was a collaborative effort to help those students in need. Also, we've been supporting for the past months Ukrainian and Russian students. So again, the FSU and college partnered to provide those students a $300 gift card for immediate needs. And as of now, we've already helped 78 students. They were benefited with this emergency support. But other than that, the college and the FSU are trying to help those students and addressing issues like mental health and emotional support they might be needing during this time, including other financial supports that Fanshawe is providing to those students, and the FSU is helping in facilitating those connections. By the end of the past year, we had adopted a student family that happened in December. where usually we get some donation from students and staff to support the students in need and support their families so they can have a good moment during the holidays and can have a great time together with their loved ones. This year, we were able to raise $2,000 and we supported 5 student families. So it's not only groceries that we support in this program, we also gave them clothing, toys, and different household items. So they could have a great time and could have a happy holiday season. And lastly here we had our chili cook-off, which raised $350 for the United Way initiative. So we are always collaborating with them, and we are always trying to support those initiatives that we know it's important for our community. And also the sharing shop this year helped more than 200 students, giving them some gift cards and some hampers with groceries and food in a total of $18,600. So this was the amount given away to our students this year. Here we have some initiatives and remarks. So I would like to start with our class reps program, which I think it's an important program for all of us here at the FSU. We started with a new structure. So now the program is under the executive team leadership, and we have different requirements for the program, and we have like a mandatory orientation, we have regular meetings, information on firsthand for this group, meet and greets, feedback service. So it was a first year pilot, but we are organizing in a way that we can have more and we can give the opportunity for those students to have more and more experience and develop their leadership and communication skills while they are helping the FSU and helping other students with their concerns. By the end of this academic year, we had 194 class reps trained. And this is important because sometimes we have people registering, but not necessarily being trained because they do not show up for those trainings. So I'm very proud to say that this number is a number of class reps trained. And also we were able to distribute 350 CCR hours, which is the co-curricular record. And this is very important for students and for their, it's kind of a golden star when they are when they are looking for new opportunities in the job market. And of course, when they are trying to develop themselves in leadership and communication skills. Also, we had the fall orientation where we served more than 1,400 meals, and we had more than 50 COVID vaccinations at the time because this was still fall. And it was a great night. It was a great week for all our student population, following by Take Back Our Campus, which was a collaboration with our sexual violence support and education advisor, Leah Marshall. We were able to have a rally with more than 200 students, many interviews, just because at the time we had some threats of sexual violence for our students. So we stood out, and the FSU were there supporting students and giving all the tools for students to be aware and to feel safe in our campus again. We had Pride Month. We had My Identity Fanshawe, both initiatives, they were focused in diversity. One of them focused on the LGBTQ plus community, and all the interviews we've made were with the students and staff from Fanshawe telling and sharing their own stories and how they found out how they could come out and how Fanshawe was an environment that embrace all of them in different ways. And also My Identity Fanshawe was focused on the international students and how it's important to start this process of respect, including your own name, how to pronounce correct people, the name of others, and how we can increase awareness about different cultures and how important it is for us all to be on the same boat and to be respectful to everyone. It was a really, really good and successful campaign. Also, we had mental health initiatives, a whole month of initiatives, 76 posts regarding mental health, we had free massage and hot drinks for students. We had succulents distributed. We had one interrobang issue focused on mental health video series. Lots of initiatives going on, supported by this video, which we have some of our directors here, by the way, in this video, and they were active and participating in the video as well. To create awareness, not only about mental health, but all the resources we have available on campus for everyone. Another important topic we've been working throughout the year, donut sheet and academic integrity. We know this is a very complex topic to approach, and we always try to be as friendly as possible and to share information and to interact with the students to show how academic integrity and how academic integrity and the respect for our code of conduct is important to have a successful academic life here at Fanshawe. We had Kindness Day during Thanksgiving, just to distribute some kindness, especially during a time that the students weren't able to come on campus. We had some initiatives with our Indigenous Center, which we are very proud of, and they were able to share a little bit of their stories in the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation in a very touching video. I encourage you to go there on our website and watch it if you hadn't yet. Also, we had Financial Literacy Month. Actually, we had more than once. So Karen is our finance coordinator. She led this project and she provided the students with many information in regards to taxes, finances. We had the Asking for a Falco event focused on finances as well, because we know this is a struggle for many students, and we are here to support them. Not only during the Financial Literacy Month, but Karen was available throughout the whole year supporting students and offering them some guidance on how to take care of their finances. We had the Red Squad back, led by Ismail. So the Red Squad was very awaited for students because it's a great opportunity to get involved and to come to campus and be with us in our events. And we opened 25 volunteer positions. The program has been very, very successful, and we are very proud. We hope it gets growing for the next year when we are expecting to have more students on campus. Also, we had a video recorded specifically for the Institute of Indigenous Learning. Since they have like their own space, sometimes we have to have some communications addressed directly to them because they have their own channels. So it was an important movement for us to be closer to this demographic as well. And also a video thanking all the donors in the Fanshawe Foundation project. The donors we mean here are those donors that provide scholarships and bursaries for our student population. So we were I was the spokesperson to thank on behalf of all students the support and the financial support they were giving to our college and to our students. We also had past presidents and future, which we could invite some past FSU presidents, former FSU presidents to come and talk a little bit about their time and how their careers developed after this experience. We had John from the 70s. We had Jason. He's still an employee here at Fanshawe, and we had also Veronica. Veronica is still working with the students as well, but in another college. So all of them were very successful in their careers, and we just wanted to show like how this kind of involvement can make all the difference in a student life and in their careers. Some other initiatives: Monopoly game, a day in the life of, so approaching staff and students, and the Monopoly game to incentivize the students to show up and participate in our events so they could collect awards during some specific events and win great prizes. We had also here Black History Month with many different contents an interbank issue exclusively talking about this topic, video with reflection, inviting our students, staff, and everyone to come to action and be more aware of the Black History Month and the Black community we have here in London and in Canada. And some last remarks here. We successfully negotiated the LTC bus pass for fully online students. We had numerous sponsorships and donations. And also, besides all of those amazing initiatives, we were able to continue having virtual and hybrid social programming as contests, trivia nights, game nights, and many other events you are very aware of. Also, we keep offering our services like clubs, diversity contests, student employability and work ethics sessions, so on and so forth. And also our celebrations are starting warming up again. So this year we had holiday celebrations, St. Patrick's Day, Ladies' Night, and we're gonna have the Student Impact Gala tomorrow, which we are very excited about it. So it was a really, really good year. Here also, I think it's important to show the provincial advocacy we've been doing. So we are not only advocating on behalf of our student population, but we are advocating on behalf of our province. So during the strike, we were collaborating with other 20 student associations to go against the strike because we know how this would affect our students, and we consider this initiative was very, very successful. We had a great feedback. We went to the media. We gave many interviews, and we were able to speak on behalf of our students and how this would be detrimental for the overall experience. Also, we are being part of Students' Voice, the future of student advocacy. So with other student leaders, as you can see in the picture, we've been gathering together just to discuss how we're gonna move to the future of the student advocacy in Ontario. So this discussion, those discussions are very productive, and we are all working in favor of our students and how we can have better and better experiences for everyone. And last but not least, menstrual equity in Ontario. This was one more initiative that we took part on with other 44 colleges and universities in Ontario, supporting as a pillar of our diversity. As our diversity work pillar. Some partnerships, we had great partnerships this year. So I just decided to show first some partnerships we had with other students. So we supported and sponsored a research project focused on international students, and the title was Hiring and Retention Strategies to Remove Barriers to International Students' Employment. So this research has great visibility, and we are very, very proud to have sponsored it. Also, we had the landscape design students participation for the Innovation Village. If you had the opportunity to come on campus, you see that we have some construction going on here, and we invited the students from landscape design program to help us to project those courtyards that we're gonna have. So they are projecting, they are using their creativity to show how this environment should be friendly for students. And we're gonna take the best ideas and we're gonna execute them in those courtyards. So it's a really, really cool project, and it was part of their major assignment for their program. And lastly, here we had just like a highlight of many, many other partnerships we had. So London Chamber of Commerce, we became members, many partnerships within the college, Pillar Nonprofit, we've been working with them for a while. And here on my left side, you can see some of the many departments we collaborated with during this year. And all of this is just possible because we have a Falcon Awesome team. So first, I would like to thank the executive team for the amazing job they've been doing throughout the year. Tanushri Prasad is the Advocacy and Communication Coordinator. Karen Martin is the Finance Coordinator, and Ismail Arava is the Student Life Coordinator. They have been just amazing, very collaborative, very student friendly. They've been working super, super hard, and they've been very successful in their roles. So thank you very much, guys. Also, I would like to thank our amazing board of directors. I am so proud of this team. Some of you are here. I am really, really proud of all of you. So Frank, our chair, thank you very much. Sana is our secretary. Thank you very much. And also we have Danny, Siddharth, Katie, Barbara, and Anna. You guys have been phenomenal, and you can rest assured you are making a real impact in our student community. Of course, none of this would be possible if you wouldn't have an amazing staff here, formed by more than 100 permanent and temporary staff, including other students here at Oasis, our admin people, we have our communications services, we have our general manager, Paul Mass, that has been a mentor for all of us. So thank you very much, Paul. By the way, Paul is retiring, and he's going to be very much missed because he is part of the history of the FSU, and none of this would be possible without his mentorship. So thank you very much, Paul, for everything. And here you can see just some pictures, but of course we have much more people working for all these amazing services you can have throughout the year and during that you could have during this year. And of course, guys, we want to thank our college partners, FSU volunteers. They've been simply amazing. And all of you here are FSU members. All of you are members, and this is all for you. And that's what we are here for. That's why we exist. So thank you very much for your membership and for your commitment and for being involved with the FSU. We are very, very proud to have your membership and to be working for you. So I'd like to show you a short video of some remarks we had this year. Wait a second. I have your faces in front of the play button here, so I don't know how can I just make this happen. Give me 1 second. All right. I am Ricardo Souza, and I am the Fanshawe Student Union President. Some good moments, right? I feel I want to cry a little bit when I see this video. So guys, we were talking about the past and how the year was, but I just would like to show you what comes next. So we have a new team coming, And we are very much proud. Ismail Aravai, he's a current coordinator and he was elected as the new FSU president. So he will be leading this amazing team next year. And also as the new coordinators, we have Paula, Tanya, and Francisco. So they're gonna assume the positions of Tanushri and Karen and Ismail, right? And also we have a new board of directors. So see those beautiful faces. We have 8 directors elected now. Some of them are here. So thank you guys for joining us today. And we are very much excited to see all the amazing stuff you're gonna do it next year. And we can wait for it. Last but not least, please get connected with us, stay connected with us in all our social media. There is the best place to get informed of all the amazing stuff we are doing. And as I said at the beginning of this presentation, we're gonna make this PowerPoint available in case you wanna revisit or go more in detail in any of the activities. As always, I am always available. Our team is always available to answer any questions you may have. And thank you very much, guys, for your time. If you have any questions, I would be glad to answer them. All right, seeing none, thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate, and I'm gonna hand it over back to you, Frank.
Thank you, Ricardo. So is there any question? Are there any questions? No. No question. I would like to call on approval of the president's report by Ricardo.
I would like to
I'll
move
move
it.
it. I can second it.
We have a mover and a second that been approved for the president's report. All in favor? Bonnie, please, can you share your screen? I want to see the next slide. No, it's okay, I got it. So I'm moving on to our 5th items, which is our business items. Our first business item is presentation of 2020-2021 audited finance statement, which is going to be presented by our General Manager, Paul.
Thank you, Frank. Be happy to lead the members through this presentation. This item is again is a presentation of our financial statements. We're obliged, of course, to present and be responsible of stewardship and transparency to the financial operations of the student union, to the membership, and it's done via a public presentation of the financial statements to the members. These statements have also been posted on the websites, on the FSU website since last fall when they were approved by the board of directors. So they have been received and approved by the board of directors on our website, since the requirement now is to present them to the membership. So they will still remain public on our website. And of course, these statements are not only our financial statements; they're also attached to this is an audit opinion. We do receive an independent. We obtain an independent. We request to obtain an independent third-party audit opinion of our financial statements. We hire a third-party company. It's PricewaterhouseCoopers was the third party that did this audit. And what it does is it provides, again, a level of transparency and stewardship and independence to the financial statements. It is the responsibility of management of the FSU operational management to prepare financial statements. But it's this independent opinion that reviews the financial statements, does some additional auditing testing, and then presents an opinion. Do these statements present fairly, right, the financial picture of the student union, right? So I think the most important thing to start with is, if you could scroll down, please, Eva, right here, the independent auditor's opinion. So this is a statement to you, the membership. So take a minute to read the maybe right there. That's good. Eva, if you could take a minute to read that page. you could continue to scroll a little bit to Eva. Right there, that's good. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment or raise your hand, and I can address them as we move forward. And mentioning that at any time as members, you can contact me directly through the FSU office, and I'd be happy to answer any questions of the members on any specific components of the financial statements. But the basis of the opinion, you read that. There's a note about the independence of the auditors. And again, at the bottom there, alluding to management is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of the statements, but it's the independent opinion that's attested to. So we received a clean, unqualified audit opinion, which is excellent. That's what we strive for and we're required to obtain. That's what we want. So that was the letter to the members that accompanied the financial statements. So if you could scroll down a bit more, Eva. And I can summarize the auditor's responsibilities again. You'll see the first line in the opinion that we had just read. It notes that the financial statements were audited to for an opinion to present that the statements are fair representation of the financial results. It can't be an exact representation. The auditors cannot say that it exactly represents, because that means they'd have to look at every single transaction. So there's significant testing that's done, significant reliance on internal controls, testing of internal controls. So they can present an opinion that says, yes, what you're reading here is an appropriate and fair representation of your financial results and balances. Okay, that's fine if you want to scroll down. Okay, so now there's the opinion. Now the financial statements do follow. As I mentioned, you can keep scrolling, Eva. As I mentioned, I'm not going to run line through line. That's good. You can stop there, Eva. I'm not going to mention, have discussion going line for line. These are presented on the statement on the website. Please, I'm sure you've looked at these, and please feel free at any time. But I can highlight a couple items that I think are worth highlighting, and they can link in association with some of the things that Ricardo was presenting in his report as well. Okay, our assets, you can see we have 3 funds. The student union resources are indicated in 3 funds: the general fund, which is your day-to-day operations; your reserve funds, which are used for basically contingencies; the student health plan, the domestic health plan, is a significant component of the reserve funds. And the capital fund is just that. It's not for day-to-day operations, but it's for capital acquisitions, large or significant items, such as a new building that we're investing in with the college, that would be running through the capital fund, or any other major capital acquisitions that run through that fund on the financials. You could slide down a bit. Some of our liabilities to highlight London Transit. At any particular point in time, we will owe some funds to London Transit. That's for, if you'll see that number and you'll wonder, why do we owe money to London Transit? Well, we collect fees from students for the bus pass, right? And then we manage those funds, and we have a payment schedule to the London Transit Commission. So that's what that represents. Long-term debt, we have we do have a long-term debt. You'll see there, and that debt relates to through the capital fund, as you can see, 1.8 million, and that's related to the student center that was built in 2004. Again, we're many years into enjoying this facility, but we had 4 loans that we used obtained for the capital investment of this facility. We had some reserve funds, but we had to borrow $6 million, and those funds were paid over in installments over a period of 25 years. 3 of the 4 loans are paid off. There's a balance remaining, and it's not unreasonable to have a balance remaining because students are still paying the fees as you're enjoying the facility. Students, you're paying the same student fee, actually paying a little bit less than the students paid for the first 10 years of the building. It was around 10 or 11 years ago that the fee was adjusted down to $21 per semester from 25. But it's really important to know that the capital investment was made for this for the facility. It was new in 2004, and hopefully, as students, you feel that it's still a facility that you can enjoy. Now, of course, with the last couple of years, with the pandemic and the environment we were in, it's unfortunately we weren't able to use the facilities as much as we liked. But the future is brighter. With regard to those facilities, we have capital reserves, as you can see there. But we talked about the partnership that we have with the college in a new student building that will be open in 2023. It's the plan, late 2023. A new facility, the new student union building, which will be in the center of campus. You'll see the construction zone if you come to campus. That building went down last year, the old building, and a new 5-floor building is going to come up. The FSU will be managing the first 2 floors of that building. There's a financial commitment, a pledge of $2.5 million from the FSU for the capital construction of the FSU portion. So some highlights there. Maybe Bonnie, Eva, please, sorry, if you could please scroll down. Thank you, Eva. You'll see the, maybe a little bit more, Eva, please. Thank you. See the health plan on the reserve funds. I want to do note the significant amount of funds that do run through the reserve fund for your health. This is the domestic health plan the FSU manages. It's a flow through. It's a self-insured fund. Student fees are collected. They act as premiums. Claims are paid from the FSU for reimbursement of dental and health claims that are made. So we manage the plan as a self-insured fund. You will see the revenue side on the general fund. Significant portion of that is student fees collected. We're a service organization. Student fees are required. You'll see over $2 million of that with transfers to the LTC for the bus pass program. Those are some highlights. The other thing I do want to make noticing on the 2020 column on the far right, you'll see $400,000 noted. About 2/3 of the way down, maybe you can see that. Yeah, it's on the yeah, there maybe at the far right there. You'll see $400,000 noted to student relief. Okay, that was very similar to what that Ricardo presented, the $500,000 in student support that was done this year. So for the current year of 21-22, there'll be a $500,000 amount into the same section. So you can see historically, through the pandemic, the student union is giving back to students because of the services have not been able to be used at the level that the students have been expecting and normally expecting. So there has been support payments given back. I think those are the major highlights. I'd like to, but there's been an impact with COVID. We know that, right? Rental incomes are down. We lost 2 or 3 tenants. Things will come back with the new building and the new, and a new environment. The future is bright with the operations, and we'll bounce back. We did have a significant impact financially on, with the pandemic, the fact that we could not do third-party catering revenues. We do a lot of catering. Those events were not able to be, procured during the pandemic, so we lost a lot of significant revenues there. But they will be coming back slowly but surely. If you could scroll down a little bit more, please. Thanks a lot, Eva. Okay, maybe scroll down a bit further. This is just a clearing statement of the cash flows. These are the notes. When you read the financial statements, you'll see notes. They're always the reference throughout our financial statements that give further explanation to the number that's included in the financials. So you can scroll down through those. It talks about the different funds we have. You can keep scrolling. I'll show you, keep going down. Right there, if you could hold under maybe there are capital assets. Again, there's further information right? Providing details to the numbers that are in the financials, such as our furniture and equipment, leasehold improvements, as I mentioned to you, that we, we have an investment in the student center. But because we are on college property, it's considered, it's a we do not own the building outright. It's considered a capital lease. So that's the explanation there, but it's for all intents and purposes, and we have a long and thorough lease agreement with the college that protects the integrity of the FSU operations within these facilities. But that's the new student center right there. Okay. That's good. You can continue out. These are all referred to through the financials right there. Reserve funds. It's important to note that we do have reserve funds for, as I said, the reserve, like the contingency. We have a contingency fund for anything that it does happen unexpectedly. We have major capital work that comes that's unanticipated. Many things we do have, we plan for. We have capital plans, we have renovation plans, deferred maintenance plans, but some things do occur unexpectedly. A roof. We had to replace a roof a few years ago. That's one example. It has to be done, but sometimes you don't know exactly how quickly it needs to be done. So you have reserve funds for that. Health plan reserve fund, because we're self-insured, we need to have about 6 months claims on hand. You'll see that's the $1.8 million almost there. Okay, you can slide a bit more. Thank you, Eva. Again, this is just further summary information on note 11 to the revenue and expenses that are included in the financials. So this is just, again, further information that ties in to those summary numbers. And item 12, student relief. I think it's important to read that one. Again, that's that $400,000 that I noted, right? From the 2020 year. In the current year that you're looking at, the financials, there was nothing that was provided because it was accrued for in the previous year. There's a board motion. But again, as I mentioned, there's another further $500,000 in the current year that will be reviewed and audited in the coming months. Okay, I think that's good as far as, in my opinion, highlighting some of the items, but it's really your opinion that's important. If you have any questions, please let me know either now or later, and I'd be happy to address them. Okay, there's no required motion for these statements. They've been moved and approved by the board, where they were presented to by the third party audit firm. They presented the statements to the board, so that was done. But it's required, as I mentioned earlier, that the membership needs to see these results. Okay, and Tom, yes, absolutely. Did you want to talk further about that offline at any time yourself? Please feel free. I can certainly give you some more further background on that. It's a 20, from highlighted points, it's a 25-year lease. So we're from 2004 to 2029. We have, again, 7 more years in this lease. Now there is an opportunity, there will be an extension that's expected, and we have the right of first refusal on the property and any changes that occur within the facility. We have been long-term capital partners with the college as well. Again, with the previous building was demolished and is now going to be a new 5-floor student services building. Again, the first 2 floors will be run by the student union. That will be incorporated. Tom, to your question, that will be incorporated within probably a revised lease at that time in a 1 or 2 years time, and to include the 2 floors of the facility. Okay, and the question that Tom asked for the recording was just wanted to get a bit more detail on the lease that I referenced, but for sure at any time if you want to get some further details. But again, it's a significant document of quite a few pages, but it provides the student union. I mean, at the end of the day, we are a tenant in this facility, but we are the college. Looks at us as the for all intents and purposes the owner operators of the facility, but we do not, because we do not own the land. We cannot be the legal title owners to the property. That's why it's capitalized as a leasehold improvement. Okay, anything else? Okay, so again, these financials, I know hopefully I didn't take too long, but I think they're important, and it's kind of a quick summary. And yeah, we'll move on to the next item if there's no further questions. So I'll turn it over to you, Frank.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Frank. So the next item is the appointment of the auditors. I can take that item on, Frank, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So there's no presentation about it. It kind of aligns with the previous presentation that the third party firm is PricewaterhouseCoopers. One of the requirements of the members is to appoint and approve the auditors. And the recommendation and request for motion is that we approve the same firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers, for the current year to audit the 21-22 financial results. It'll be presented to the board for approval come early fall, and of course presented to the members, just like we're doing today, 1 year from now. So we'll be repeating this in 1 year as we have to do that. So the motion is to hire PricewaterhouseCoopers as the audit firm for the current year. The auditing is the audit is done during the month of June generally, give or take a few weeks into May and July, but it's a significant process. But that work will start in the late spring. So I'll turn it to you, Frank, if you could request a motion so that we can move forward with the firm PricewaterhouseCoopers.
I'd like to request a motion to approve PricewaterhouseCoopers as engaging auditors onto our next annual general meeting.
I would like to move it.
I can second it.
So we have to move on the second that approve that. All in favor? Yes. So we're going to move on to our third business item, election results going to be presented by Paul.
Thank you, Frank. And you have Eva, right? I think that's okay. They might even be all. It could be included right on the CR report too. If it's hard to obtain that, Eva, it's not working that link, but it's okay. There they are. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, as you see, here are the election results presented. It's noted that you can see it's right on our website, so our members can see the results of our new directors that are taking office on May 1, and a number of our new directors come May 1 are attending today, and thank you very much for doing so. And congratulations once again for your successful election. So we can go on to the next item. That's okay. And again, it's a presentation of the Chief Returning Officer, CRO report. Again, very similar to the independent opinion provided by our financial auditors. The election, in accordance with our bylaws, requires an independent body, not an employee, not a director, not an associate of the student union, an independent person that is approved by the board to oversee the election independently, to make sure that it's done in accordance with bylaws and policies, and to present a report back with perhaps with results and recommendations and a testimonial statement on the election. So this is something that was directed specifically to the board and you, the members, from Alan Bushell, the Chief Returning Officer. Alan was approved by the board. Alan was a previous president of the Fanshawe Student Union, and but of course it is completely independent of the Fanshawe Student Union now, but it has a great understanding of the process and did a great job. And here's his report, so I'll let you read it. It's to you, the members. The important statement there, the observations, it says the election was held in accordance with the bylaws and policy. And of course, the last statement, it was, other than being in a pandemic environment, it was pretty uneventful, which is a good thing. We want the election to be held smoothly and fairly, obviously, in accordance with all bylaws and policies. And there are some, you can probably get them all in one if you slide it up together. I think there's just 3 in total. Is that correct? Conclusions and recommendations. If you take a very quick read of that. If you have any questions, this is again, what will happen is these conclusions and recommendations will be tabled forward. You might say, okay, what's the next action item? These will be tabled forward to your new board to look at these and perhaps make any adjustments, if and feedback and further review on some of these recommendations. And none of them are really surprising, in my opinion, but it's good feedback. So if there's any questions, we can receive those now. If there's none, we can maybe go back to the agenda. If you could, Eva, please. So it's important to approve the results and the CRO report. It's the members that voted, and it's the members that need to approve the results. So you've seen the independent report of the CRO, and before the newly elected directors and president can take office officially from the members, they need to have the support of the members, which of course you will because you voted and you got the report. So that's, I'm turning it over to you. Frank, if you could request a motion, please, to approve the results and the CRO report as presented.
Thank you, Paul. I'd like to request an approval for the March 2022 election results and the CRO's report.
I'll move it.
I can second it.
Thank you all. Moving on to our fourth item, we have the SAC honoraria.
And thanks, Frank. We'll move on to that. If there's any, again, I think it earlier noted, but just a reminder to the members here that if there's, it was mentioned, but if you do just, have any opposition to these, just indicate that. Otherwise, we'll be moving forward that assume that there's acceptance. But please, if there are, just make sure you note. Thank you very much. And the last item here is the SAC honoraria. Now, these items, these are the payments. These are stipends and payments to your directors for their time invested in supporting the board business. The specific dollar values are approved by the board, but they are subject to approval by the membership. So the members have to support the payment to the directors. So the recommendation is a motion to approve next year's honoraria as follows: $465 per semester as a maximum. It's based on meeting attendance, by the way, as the current directors know, to a maximum of $465 per semester. There's a minimum of 5 meetings per semester in the fall and winter, and generally that's all there is. But there's a minimum of 5 in the bylaws required, and 3 in the summer. That's why it's a maximum. So it's based on a per meeting pro rata. And of course, the chair receives an additional stipend for the extra work that the chair does. And Frank certainly worked hard to earn that. And these are done on payments by semester. And this is the proposal for next year, but it needs the support of the members before we can enact these stipends. So I'll turn it to you, Frank, please, if you could request a motion of the members if they support the honoraria as presented.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. I'd like to request an approval for the SAC honoraria for the next year, which is minimum for directors 465 and minimum for chair per semester 185.
I'll approve it, or I'll move it.
We have a mover and a seconder.
I can second it.
We have a mover and a seconder. All in favor? Okay, hearing no one. Thank you, Paul. We're going to move on the seat items, other business item for members. So at the beginning of our meeting, of our agenda, I asked for any new business items to be discussed, and hearing no one, we move on forward for the agenda. So I'd like to call on approval on the 6th item, having no business item.
Yeah, I can move it.
I'll second it.
Thank you all. Your mail which has 7 items adjournment of the meeting. I'd like to request an approval for that.
I would like to move it.
I'll second it.
Thank you all. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, everybody. It was a pleasure.